guys, it's Jamie with Not Too Shabby, and today we are revealing another product for our box of the month for September. So far we revealed the Autumn is Calling stamp sets, which I made this wonderful card using all of those beautiful images. You can go back to the previous video to watch how I did that. Then we revealed the Autumn Vibes paper pad and coordinating ephemera. Beautiful collection. We created 3 cards yesterday using that collection. We made a slimline card and 2 mini slimline cards. Today we are revealing our second stamp set, and this one is called Full of Thanks. It is just super gorgeous. I love this pumpkin, this beautiful, it could be a pumpkin spice latte or whatever you want it to be. We have an apple, we have like a pie or a tart, we have some fall leaves, that little spice, the cinnamon spice. We have these little flourishes and some little dots to decorate your card with. The sentiments, happy day or happy Thanksgiving. Great stamp. We're going to have fun coloring it up today. I've created some masks. So we're going to do some masking. It's going to be a 1-layered card. I cut out all my masks. We have some Copic Express paper, and I got my Ohuhu markers out. I have not colored with these, and I actually bought these for my mom. She has Copics, but she wanted more colors, and I thought she could give these a try. These are less expensive, but she was not happy with them. She's used to coloring with her Copic markers, and she's like, I just can't get used to coloring with these. So she gave them back to me, and I'm going to try my hand at them and see how they go. So I'm going to get my Misty out. We're going to create a scene. Now these products release on September 1st at 9 a.m. Central Time. We will have all new products for our subscriptions, which includes the box of the month, the stamp and die of the month, the stamp of the month, and the paper pad club of the month. So when you're masking, you're going to want to stamp out the item that you want in front. So I really want to color different colored pumpkins. So I want to stamp out maybe the pumpkins 3 times. So we'll have like 1 in the middle and 2 off to the side. I want to stamp out the leaves. So I'm going to want a leaf in front of this pumpkin. I think I want this little spice. I think it's called anise. That in front of the pumpkin. And I'm going to save these 2 for another card. I want to just do pumpkins and leaves. So since these are on top, you're going to want to remove what's underneath. I got a little water on my my paper, so I'm just going to flip that over. So I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink, since I am using alcohol markers. So I'm going to stamp my pumpkin here, and I want to mask off these 2 items. Okay, I have my mask down, and now I want to take my pumpkin, and I don't want to put it far down because then it will look like these items are floating. I want them to look like they're on the ground. So I'm going to add my pumpkin a little higher. Okay, now you're going to want to add your mask to the pumpkin so you can add some pumpkins behind it. Okay, now that I have my pumpkin, I want to add this one behind it, so I'm going to lift it just a little bit. If you add it down here, it's going to look weird. So you want to lift it up so it looks like it's behind this pumpkin, or at least on the same level. Okay, we're going to do the little apple. Okay, I'm going to add the mask to my apple. And then I'm going to add this pumpkin to the back. Okay, it looks like a hot mess right now. But once we take everything off, it's going to make sense. So I want some more leaves just like floating around in my scene. So I'm gonna just take them. They're just flying all over the place. I'm gonna take the pumpkin and move it over to this side so I can have a leaf on the back side of the pumpkin. So we'll have this one peeking out from behind this pumpkin. Okay, so let's take some of our masks off so we can see what we're working with so far. I like to keep my masks behind my stamp packaging so that way I could use it later. Okay, so we have a cute fall scene going on. We are going to stamp out a sentiment. I think we're going to do "So Full of Thanks." So I'm going to stamp out the sentiment "So Full of Thanks" right about here, but I'm not going to do that until after because we're probably going to do a background with some distress inks. And I'm going to cut down this panel so it fits on my A2 size card. So guys, make sure you come back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Time. Teresa's going to be up on the channel sharing the next paper pad and ephemera, and it is going to be gorgeous. It does go with the stamp set, so you're not going to want to miss this. So I want to practice different colors of pumpkins. So I grabbed a bunch of colors from the Ohuhu set. So we'll start off with the middle pumpkin. I'm going to do my Copics for this orange color because I didn't really like the oranges that were in the Ohuhu set. And I don't have too many orange Copics, so I just grabbed the orange shades that I had. So I'm going to start with my darkest, which is a YR18. And I'm just going to put the darkest like in the little crevices of the pumpkin. And then my YR68 seems to be my next shade that I would use. And then my Y04. Let's see, I have a YR65. Okay, so there's my orange. I'm going to leave those to the side because I'm going to bring those into the leaves. So I want a greenish pumpkin. I grabbed these greens. Let's see, I want to do this color. It's like a green blue gray color. we're gonna grab these and see what we can do. So there's a G7, G5, but the G9 looks lighter than all of those. So I'm gonna grab the one that looks the darkest. Really pretty color, very dark. And then the G5, these Ohuhus do have a tip on them, similar to the Copics, a little bit pointier, I guess. This is a really, really dark color as well. I'm not sure if this was lighter. It's kind of just a different shade. And I could see why my mom didn't like them, because like when you get a set of new markers, you don't really know what blends together. And then the G9 looks like it's the lightest. So I'm gonna fill in the rest with this. And see if we could get these to blend. You gotta be careful not to oversaturate the paper, because then you will get some bleeding going on. Okay, so obviously I'm not getting the greatest blend. I'm gonna try going back with the G5 and doing some dots to kind of like bring the color over to the area that's kind of to mask that like line, that harsh line that's going on. So this seems to be working. I like the texture of that. There is a stamp in the set that you can use to do this technique. So if you have like colored inks and you just had this kind of color, you could stamp this and do that technique. That's what I did this little splatter for. It kind of curves the pumpkin. I don't have too many colored inks. I do have this color that might do something, so let's try that. I'm gonna take my stamp block and we can try that. This is a little bit lighter than that, so we'll see if it shows up. And I can't really see through my stamp block because I have gouache all over it, but you can see that it is working. Oh shoot. Oh my gosh, I got ink on the stamp block. I forgot these Catherine Pooler inks are very spongy. So you have to be careful when you press down, and I just ruined my painting here. Let's see, I'm trying to think of a way that I can save this piece, and I have to do some creative thinking. What if I take that splatter stamp? There's only like a piece there that I could hide with a white Jelly Roll pen. We can take the splatter stamp and stamp it with brown and just stamp over this. Let's see, I have oxide and brown. I have vintage photo and walnut stain. Let's take the walnut stain. I know that's darker. And see if we could kind of camouflage that a little bit. So we'll just make this a pumpkin with like spots all over it. Okay, so it's pretty masked. We'll just have to use a white Jelly Roll pen there to hide that ink. And then for this pumpkin, let's try these. Let's see, I got BG03 and GG3. Let's see which one's darker. Okay, so I'm going to do this one as my darker color. Okay, so I got my gray pumpkin. We're going to do the apple. I have some R's from the Ohuhu set, so we're going to try that R4. There's an R5. I have no idea which one's darker, which one's lighter. And there's an R1. And definitely this one's the lightest. I'm going to use some greens for the leaf. That was YG43 and this one's YG42. I'm going to do these stems in the green too. I'm going to do G7. There's G9. This one looks lighter. I'm going to use this one. Okay, so now let's work on the leaves. Let's add some green over to this side. Let's add some brown to this color. I like using E99, E97, and E95 for my reddish brown colors. Okay, so let's work on these leaves over here. Let's see, I feel like there needs to be some red over onto that side. So I'm going to take that R17. And make the center of this leaf red. And I'm going to take my orange and blend these colors together. And now this one I'll probably do some browns. So I'll take my E99, E97, grab another shade of brown. I have E74. And now for the background, I think I'm gonna do like a brown ground. Okay, so let's start off with the E77. I want my darkest shadow to be right underneath my images. Now we've got E74. And I'll just bring this color out just a little more. I got an E71 and my E70. So I am going to cut this down. Oh, look at that, my E70. Oh, it is so dry that my nib just cracked and fell off. Wow. Hopefully, do I have another E70 around? Okay, so I'm going to just make do with the E71. So I'm going to bring this down more. I'm going to do some dots on the ground. So I just took the darkest one and I'm just going to make some big dots, little dots, skinny dots, fat dots. Give the ground some texture like it's dirt. Okay. So now I gotta think about what I want to do for the sky. Do I want to mask these all off and do some ink blending? Or do I want to leave it kind of like a white space, stamp out my sentiment, and kind of fade out the sky? Let's do some really light blues. I'm going to start off with BG15. That will kind of match that ink that was on there, so that works out. I'm going to try BG13 because that's a little harsh. That line in between the BG15 and the BG11. I'm going to take my 0 and kind of like fade out the edges there. Okay. Since I really couldn't get that, those to transition very well, I'm gonna do the dotting technique to bring out that color into the other space so it doesn't look as bad. Okay, so it kind of looks like a bokeh kind of background thing. Now I'm going to stamp my little sentiment here, and then we're going to cut down our panel. I'm going to do some white Jelly Roll pen because I could still see that line right there. So this Jelly Roll pen is really going to like bring this, all this like together. And for the leaves, I'm just going to do some white dots. We're going to stamp our sentiment in the VersaFine Clear and Nocturne ink. So there's these really fun swirlies that you can use for little representation of the leaves swirling in the wind. So I'm going to stamp those. And I think they make really cute decorations. So I could do that one or this one. Okay, cute. Okay, I cut down my panel, and I think I want to put a little bit of gray dots around. So I'm going to use that same color G3 and just add some darker dots. Okay, so now let's go ahead and mat this on some colored cardstock. Okay, what do you think about these colors? I thought the red, to bring out the red apple, because the red seems a little bit lonely. It's the only thing that pops out. So I thought adding the red matte would be a good idea. So let's put that on. What do you guys think about these Ohuhu markers? I wasn't that comfortable coloring with them. I guess it does take time to get used to what colors go with what. I'm just so used to my Copics. But I guess if I want to use some colors that I don't have, I could just pull out those Ohuhu markers. Or if I want to do some backgrounds, because sometimes I don't like wasting my Copic ink, I could just take out my Ohuhu markers and do some large backgrounds with those. So if you're not familiar with the box of the month, you can purchase the box of the month as a one-time purchase, or you can join the club as a monthly subscription. You'll get a new box every 30 days from the date you purchase. You do get an extra 5% off when you join the club. I'm going to add some Sparkle All the Way sequins. Just scatter some of that around the card. Okay, so that completes my card. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Join us tomorrow for another reveal. We have 3 more days until release day, September 1st at 9 a.m. Central Time over at the nottooShabbyShop.com. We hope to see you there, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.